Hello, and welcome to the on-demand training webinar for the 2016-2017 year of College Ready Florida. I'm Ariana Pinero, and I'm the Special Projects Coordinator for the Florida College Access Network. Before we get into the details of each of the programs, I just wanted to give you all a quick overview of who we are as an organization and why we are involved in these programs. I also just quickly wanted to let you all know that all of these slides will be available for download, so you can have a copy for your reference. So the Florida College Access Network, our mission is to create and strengthen a statewide network that catalyzes and supports communities to improve college and career readiness, access, and completion for all students. Our vision is what we refer to as Goal 2025, or for at least 60% of working-age Floridians to hold a high-quality post-secondary degree or credential by the year 2025. There are two important things I want to point out about our vision. The first is that it's really based on research. We didn't randomly make up this number. There, for example, was a study by Georgetown University that showed that actually 65% of working-age Floridians will need some sort of higher education for their employment by the year 2020. So this goal is actually a little conservative. The second thing I want to point out is that we do emphasize high-quality post-secondary degree or credential. So we have this expansive definition of higher education in college that includes a number of different paths. And that really ties into the first of our guiding values, which is that college is post-secondary education. And this is something that I want everyone to keep in mind as we talk about, for example, College Application Week, which is now Apply Yourself Florida, or College Decision Day, that we're not strictly talking about traditional 2- and 4-year colleges. We do want to make sure we're including all sorts of paths here. Our other guiding values are that college readiness is career readiness, that college is for everyone, that college is a public good, and that reaching Goal 2025 will require collective action. So how are we trying to get to this goal? We have three main strategies that we follow here in the office. The core strategy has been local college access networks, or LCANs, and these are place-based collaboratives that bring together folks from multiple sectors to set a goal for their region and to come up with a joint strategy to work towards this goal. Another strand of our work is research and policy, and so we have policy briefs, we have data dashboards, we have a lot of resources if you're interested in that sort of approach. And then what we're here to focus on today is the statewide initiatives, and these are currently all known together as College Ready Florida, and they focus at this point on seniors in high school making that transition to college. The first of these is Apply Yourself Florida. And this traditionally begins around October and November, and we'll sort of just get straight into it. I like to start with what I consider sort of the essentials of the Apply Yourself Florida program. The first of these is that we do ask you to register, and that just lets us know who's participating and allows us to really help you a little better. We also ask that there's a single site coordinator as the primary point person for your event. That doesn't mean you don't have a broader team supporting you. We just ask there's one person who's taking main responsibility. And then the third point here is really at the heart of what Apply Yourself Florida or Florida College Application Week is. So I'm going to break this down into its components. But first, I'll just go through the whole thing. We ask that you dedicate time and space, such as the school computer lab, during normal school hours in which all graduating seniors will have the opportunity to successfully submit at least one application to the school of their choice. The first part of this is that there is time and space during normal school hours, and I know for a lot of you this is a really big challenge. Both sort of getting permission to take class time for another activity, and also just the logistics of getting the computer lab can be very challenging. However, the reason why we do focus on there being time and space during normal school hours is that the students that we're hoping most to reach are really those that are most likely to have transportation issues or are most likely to have responsibilities outside of the school day that would keep them from coming to an event outside of school. The second part of this is that all graduating seniors will have the opportunity to successfully submit at least one application. This does not necessarily mean that you need to get every single student on a computer. However, it means that you're really giving all students the opportunity. So this activity isn't just for a certain group of students that are on a certain track. It's really open to everyone. If you are restricting it somehow, the way that I would recommend to restrict it is to students who have not yet submitted an application. And that just helps you narrow in on the students who most need the assistance if you just don't have the capacity to have this event open to all students. And the final part of this is that we emphasize it being a school of their choice that they're applying to. And this distinguishes our events from, for example, a application drive for a specific college or university. We really emphasize the importance of thinking about fit, match, and net cost for students. And we know that when students go through that process, it won't be a one-size-fits-all answer. So we really encourage schools to give students the opportunity to think about where might be best for them and to apply there. And our last point here that we really consider an essential is that you keep a record of the number of students who have completed applications, as well as how many applications each student completes, and you report this key data to FCAN. And this helps us get an idea of if we're reaching the students we need to reach, as well as helps us keep the program going year to year. Some additional points I want to bring up regarding Apply Yourself Florida. As I mentioned earlier, you don't have to do this alone. The schools that are most successful do have a school-wide team to support them. And often this team really includes English teachers is something that I've heard from a lot of schools. This is because the English teachers do see all of the students. They also have the opportunity to include assignments such as an application essay as part of their curriculum. However, this team is not just the English teachers, but could also include other school staff as well as community volunteers who can help with the help students be prepared and help them with the actual application process. Similarly, it's very helpful to engage families in the community, and we provide a lot of resources to help with that. Whether you're reaching out to parents to make sure they're informed and supportive, or reaching out to local businesses for donations to help with your event, or just looking for volunteers. We have a lot of different resources to help with all of that. This is also a great opportunity to create a college-going culture for all your students through activities leading up to the event. So while the actual event focuses on seniors, you can definitely have participate in other activities throughout the week that would sort of let younger students get involved. And the last two are really important. They're not essential per se, but we really do encourage schools to ensure students are prepared to participate prior to the event so that they know where they need to apply, they know what they need to do to apply. And then students are followed up with after the event to make sure their applications are complete. And we'll talk about now some of the resources to help you do all this. We have planning resources for you, the site coordinator. This includes a planning guide as well as plenty of templates in that guide. There are student resources that we'll also discuss in a minute. The training is what's going on right now. We have stickers and posters available on a first-come, first-served basis that we mail out to schools, and we also provide technical assistance. The site coordinator guide is available on our website. It's available as both a PDF and Word, so you can copy and paste any of the templates that are in this guide and customize them for your school. It includes a number of resources that really helps you plan from soup to nuts for this sort of event if you haven't done it before, or if you feel that you could just use help in a specific area. One exciting thing I do want to point out this year is that the student family letters are now bilingual. English, Spanish. We also will have a volunteer training PowerPoint. So this will be something you can use to train your community volunteers to be able to answer some of the very common questions that they might receive from students during the application process. Everything else is very similar to last year, with just a few minor changes here and there. We also have the Apply Yourself Guide for students. If you already have some resources that you use with students to walk them through the application process, that's great. However, if you don't, this really is a great resource to use with them, and it brings them through the entire process, from looking at fit, match, and cost to thinking about what are the actual components of the application I might need to submit, to thinking about residency information and more. And then I just like to highlight some of my favorite little bonus materials that we have in the toolkit. The first is College Bingo, and this really encourages students to talk to faculty and staff about their college experience. So there are different sort of experiences in each of the boxes, and the students talk to their teachers, and if the teacher happens to have had one of these experiences, they sign it off. And then there's often a small prize or even just bragging rights for the students who win bingo. We also have this really fun little one-page handout giving an overview of the college application process, and this was just created in-house, and it's just something really quick and easy you can share with your students. All of these resources are available on our website. This is sort of a little shortcut link that will take you right to the page with the toolkits, as well as link you through to registration. So if you have not yet registered and you are interested in participating, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you and be in touch. So that brings us to our second program, and this is also starting in the fall this year. And we'll just quickly go through the FAFSA changes in case you know, you've missed them so far. We want to make sure everyone hears about these. So the FAFSA is now open beginning October 1st, and that is why our FAFSA challenge has been moved up from starting in January to October. The other key change is that you can now use prior year tax information. Again, many of you might already be aware of this, but just to make sure everyone, you know, it has it top of mind, you can use prior year tax information from 2015 for this year. So how FCAN is working to boost FAFSA completion in the state is through sponsoring sort of a friendly competition between schools and school districts. We ask that you set a goal for FAFSA completion, that you let us know about it, and you might have a chance to win a trophy. And these are trophies that go to the highest achieving schools throughout the state, those that have the highest overall FAFSA completion rate, those that have the greatest year-to-year improvement, and those that have the largest week-to-week improvement, so a big boost week-to-week. We also have recognition for all schools that meet their goal, whether or not they win one of the statewide trophies. In terms of meeting these goals, we don't have a specific method that we require schools to use. However, we do have some 6 strategies that we recommend, and these are either promising practices or evidence-based practices that have come from the research or from other schools. The first of these is really something that we highly recommend. It's key to the FAFSA challenge, is that you set a goal and track your data. We do have the FAFSA Finish Line data dashboard, and that is how you'll find your baseline and set a goal. We ask that it's bold but attainable, so this can depend on the size of your school, some unique characteristics of your school, but in general we recommend a 5% goal, and that's something that is attainable but also does require some effort, some concerted effort on the school's part to meet that goal. We also ask that you make the school public so that you really rally your school around the goal and people know about it. You can see one school in Palm Beach County did a FAFSA memeometer, which was a really cute and funny way to let students know where they were and what their goals were. And so we ask that you make this public and you track your progress throughout the FAFSA season. And how you'll do all of this is using the FAFSA Finish Line Data Dashboard. This is available on our website and it's updated regularly, so you get near real-time data on your school's FAFSA completion rate. There are two views of this. You can look at all the schools in the state and search specifically for your school, look at other schools in your district, or look at peer schools by low income status or graduation rate or even size of school. But then we have a new school detail page which allows you to look a little more in depth at your school's numbers. Something really important to point out here is the FAFSA submitted with errors. You can see that on the right side of the page. If you do notice that you have a high rate of FAFSA submitted with errors, that might point out that you want to do a little more education with your students and families, and also really encourage students to be checking their email because that's how they'll be notified if there's an error. That page also gives you a quick look at what your change from the previous year was. Another way to get updates is through our leaderboards, and that shows who's in the running for the trophies, essentially. And those also are going to go out bi-weekly. The second strategy that's been used successfully by a number of schools and communities is holding a FAFSA event. So you might already have an existing College Goal Sunday event in your community that you want to promote, or using some of the resources in our toolkit, you might want to host your own FAFSA information night or even a completion lab. You can also promote the importance of FAFSA with students and families. Again, in the toolkit, there are lots of links to resources that will help you do this, but some of the possibilities are using morning announcements, posters and flyers, social media, letters home. There's just a number of ways that you can do this, but what it really is a public information campaign. One really fun way that this was done in Sarasota was to have a video contest for students. So not only were students getting involved learning about the FAFSA and creating something, but those videos were then used to educate other students. The fourth strategy is really what we have the strongest evidence base for, and that is texting students with reminders to complete the FAFSA. There's a number of ways you can go about doing this. Probably the easiest on the school end is using Up Next, and this is a new tool. It's promoted by Better Make Room, which is an initiative of the First Ladies, and all students have to do is text college to 44044, as you can see in the image on the side, and they're enrolled in this program that will send them text message reminders throughout the whole college process. So this isn't FAFSA specific, but it does include a lot of FAFSA reminders. For something a little more customized, there is also Signalvine. This is a robust tool. It has specific campaigns available and is available at a discounted rate to National College Access Network partners. Then something that is completely free and already in use in many schools is Remind, and this is something that you can customize specifically for your school, but then of course requires that setup time. Another strategy is providing incentives and engaging in friendly competition, and this is something we're obviously doing at the state level, but that can be done even within the school. So as you can see in the picture here, one counselor provided actually just a candy bar to students who completed the FAFSA and can confirm that. There might be a pizza party. There could be a challenge between different schools in the district so you can compete with your rival school. And then one strategy that has been used in a number of schools is to require students to complete the FAFSA for prom tickets or a discount on prom tickets. And this is something that can be effective, but that I definitely recommend that is used thoughtfully. So there might be students in the school who, for whatever reason, cannot complete the FAFSA, and you definitely wouldn't want to exclude them. You would want to come up with some sort of alternative activity that they could do to still be eligible. And the final strategy, and one that was used really effectively in Sarasota, was to collaborate with community partners and champions. And in Sarasota, through these partnerships, that district took home 8 of the 15 trophies that were awarded statewide last year. So this can be a partnership with the city itself. It can be a partnership with local colleges or universities. Local businesses might provide volunteers or provide donations. And then you can also think about your local education foundations, even your local chamber. Some of you will have a local college access network in your region. They can be extremely helpful with this because this is something that will require a big push. So the more community support you have, the better. I already shared some of the resources for this initiative. There's the data dashboard and the leaderboard. We also have a toolkit, and that's available for download online, and I'll show you the link in a minute. I will also be sending out coordinator emails at some regular intervals, and that will just include tips and tricks. It'll feature different schools' efforts, and it's just a way to stay in the loop on FAFSA completion. And then we also provide technical support both in the program side of things and the data side of things. And these resources and also registration are available at this link, and this brings you directly to the page on the website with everything you need for the Florida FAFSA Challenge. The last of our 3 initiatives takes place on or around May 1st, and that is because that is the day where students traditionally have to inform colleges of their intention to attend. And this is also something that we have Florida College Decision Day in our state. However, it's something that's really been promoted at a national level by the First Lady's Reach Higher initiative. So this is not just a Florida effort, this is something going on nationwide, and it's a really exciting movement. What's great about Decision Day is that there's a ton of flexibility in terms of how schools actually celebrate their students. So schools might hold a pep rally, schools might have something during the lunch periods, they might have a breakfast activity, or if they aren't able to plan a larger event, some schools even just have a wall where they have students list where they're going to college, either on little pennants or they mark it on a map. What's really key here is that we encourage high schools to recognize all students for their post-secondary plans. So whether that's 2-year, 4-year military, or some sort of post-secondary certificate, we do want to be really inclusive here. Another key part of Decision Day is that recognition is held in front of the entire student body. This is a celebration for seniors, but it's also a great way to build the college-going culture in your school and get underclassmen thinking about college and really seeing the older students as role models. If you're having a larger event, you might want to contact local media. This really encourages publicity beyond the high school and starts getting people thinking about college in the community as well. And really what's key here, this is a celebration. We do hope you have fun with this. Again, as with our other resources, we provide a really comprehensive planning toolkit with a number of different templates you can use to help plan your event. That is generally available at this link. At this point, last year's toolkit is up, and early in the spring next year, we will have the toolkit up for 2017. You can also register for the event on this page. You are more than welcome to contact us. I've put my own information up there, as well as Troy Miller. He's our Associate Director for Research and Policy, and if you have any specific questions about the FAFSA data, he will be the person best to talk to for that. You can also go to our website at florida@collegeaccess.org or follow us on Twitter at @goal2025florida. Before I wrap this up, I just wanted to thank our sponsors. This is possible thanks to the generous support of Helios Education Foundation and the Swift Family Foundation. And we're so glad that we are able to bring these initiatives across the state thanks to their support. Again, please feel free to contact us. I look forward to working with you throughout the year. and all of these slides will be available for download. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and I hope you all have a great day.